Welcome back to A Moment in History. I'm 𝙎𝙐𝘽𝙎𝘾. In a place as chaotic and eerie as the sea, many legends have come about throughout the ages of sailing. One of these is perhaps the most famous from the golden age of pirating, a terrifying tale about a ghost ship that would allegedly appear as a harbinger of doom and death to sailors on dark waters. There's a history behind this ghostly vessel, and as you'll see, the history behind it only adds to the legend of it. It was known by sailors and pirates, and to us today, as the Flying Dutchman. The Flying Dutchman was said to appear on dark nights or misty seas as a terrifying foreshadowing of a deadly storm or a catastrophic battle, a tragic misfortune, or the meeting with a terrifying beast of the seas. The legend of the Dutchman is much more legend than it is history, for a few reasons which we'll get to shortly. But the legend goes like this. In the 17th century, a Dutch captain in the Dutch East India Company by the name of Hendrik van der Decken set sail from the Middle East back to his home in the Netherlands. Now, at this time, sailors had no choice but to travel all the way around the southern tip of Africa, a treacherous stretch of sea with little to no safe landing harbors known as the Cape of Good Hope. Van der Decken captained his crew down the Indian Ocean to the southern tip, and there he encountered a ferocious storm. Legend has it that the captain, with no choice and nowhere to land, made a pact with the devil that he would sail through the storm even if it took him until Judgment Day. So from that day on, his phantom ship was cursed to sail the seas for eternity. In the centuries that have followed, sailors have reportedly seen a ghastly ship in a storm or in treacherous waters just before a terrible event has occurred, feeding the legend. And this is not an old legend either. According to my research, the most recent sighting of the Flying Dutchman came from English sailors during World War II in 1941. The Flying Dutchman has found its way into opera performances, poems, stories, and cinema. Now, what's especially fascinating about the legend of this ghost ship is that, according to records and annals, there was no captain for the Dutch East India Company ever by the name of Hendrik van der Decken, and there was no actual ship on the records named the Flying Dutchman. So this tale, as spooky as it is, reminds Christians of a beautiful truth. The legend claims Captain van der Decken allegedly made a pact with the devil and sold his salvation for the chance to sail through the dangerous cape. We know that no Christian can ever barter his salvation for anything because no Christian can lose his salvation. It was paid for in full by our Lord Jesus Christ, and that's great news indeed, even in the midst of a creepy ocean tale such as this. Thanks so much for joining me once again for A Moment in History. If you enjoyed this video, remember to like and subscribe. And if you want us to cover one of your favorite moments in history, you can tell us in the comments. Now stay tuned for some new content.